In early 2023, I was sitting at my house on my couch and I was thinking to myself, why do I feel so empty, so unfulfilled, so useless? How can I fix this subconscious feeling and actually gain something from it? How can I grow from this? And so I thought about it for hours on end until I actually found out what was bothering me all this time. You see, I had finally formed a real masculine desire for the first time in my entire life. I wanted to be able to provide for my future family, not just emotionally, because even at that point I could have done that, but financially also. And when I realized this desire, I got the biggest spark ever to improve myself that I never had in my entire life up until that point. And so I thought to myself, what would be the best business model that would guarantee me not just financial freedom, because of course you can work on any kind of business for decades and it will give you financial freedom. However, I also wanted location and time freedom so that I could work anytime that I wanted and wherever I wanted. And so naturally, my best bet was to become an online entrepreneur. And I know this term, online entrepreneur, is overused by, all of the clickbaity YouTubers who are, like posing in the thumbnail. They have like their girl by their side and there's like the money sign, which is like, oh, make $10,000 per month, just buy my course about dropshipping and everything will be fine. And then there were also people like my dad who wanted to talk me out of it, not because he didn't want me to succeed, but only because he wanted the best for me. Because the first business model that I tried to get myself into was an affiliate marketing course, which was, by the way, the biggest waste of my money that I could have ever made. It was one of my worst financial decisions, but at that time I tried to convince him, and eventually he did buy me it, and he wanted me to see if it was actually worth it. And so I did affiliate marketing for a while, and I saw no results at all. However, when I purchased this affiliate marketing course, it gave me this weird feeling. It kind of felt like freedom, like I was slowly breaking the chains of the system, and I was becoming, slowly, the best version of myself. Because even though this was a huge mistake on my part, I should have done greater research, it was still a valuable lesson. And plus, I was actually getting somewhere for the first time in a long time. And so, after this business model failed, I decided to search for something else. And that was around the same time that I went all out on my self-improvement journey. And I don't mean the kind of self-improvement like you go to the gym 7 days per week and you have no social life, you just stay at home and work on your agency for 12 hours per day. No. I mean that kind of self-improvement as a young man, where you flourish, not just your wealth and health desires, but also your relationships. You get equally good at every single one of them. You don't say to yourself stuff like, oh, I'm gonna go to that club and meet those new high value people once I'm rich. Which, yeah, of course, you need money for that, but at the same time, that social intelligence isn't gonna get leveled up by itself. So you kind of need to take action. But not just that. I started to exercise more efficiently. I started to take care of my mental health even more. And it was around this time that I made one of the biggest discoveries of my entire life. I found my purpose in life, the authentic activity that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. After so many hours of thinking about it, after so many hours of thinking out of the box, after so much time of not listening to society anymore and soul searching for hours on end, I figured out that the activity that I wanted to do, that I was destined to master, was teaching. And so for now, the answer was obvious. Align my current desires, which was to become the best version of myself through self-improvement, with this teaching purpose of mine, which I was really good at, and then upload the YouTube videos about it. And that was the business model that I was confident that I would succeed in. This was the business model that would actually bring me infinite fulfillment, apart from that affiliate marketing business, which wasn't getting me anywhere at the end of the day. And when I made this huge realization that teaching was my purpose in life, and when I had the idea of wanting to become a YouTuber and aligning it to this powerful business model, I had a huge revelation. Let me ask you this. What is the number one regret of dying people? You can search it up right now. You can pause the video. But spoiler alert, it is by far the biggest regret, and that is that they wish they had lived like how they wanted. They wish that they didn't live the same lives that their parents wanted them to live. And that's why you won't feel free unless you break out of this cycle. Because each and every single one of us is like a flower. Whether you're a man or a woman, this applies to you. You're like this beautiful flower which is waiting to find its purpose, to find its true nature, its true beauty, and then to bloom, to master this skill of yours that you want to be good at, and slowly but surely open yourself up to reveal your true beauty, your true value to the outside world. And I bet that at least once in your life, your parents told you, oh, you should be a dentist, you should be a doctor, for example, you should be, I don't know, a policeman, because they retire like 20 years earlier. Or if you have a father who brings you financial freedom, then they probably say stuff like, oh, you don't have to worry about school, you will just work for your dad, and later down the line, you will inherit his firm. So you really have nothing to fear. Let me tell you this. 99% of your time, your purpose won't be aligned to the same purpose that your parents have. It just won't be aligned with the plans that your parents want to put you through. And so, you need to find this purpose in life, and you need to slowly expand in it. You need to find out what you're naturally good at. Because sure, my father is naturally good at, breaking things apart and then picking them and building them back together to their original state. He's really good at that, and he has aligned that skill of his, that purpose, that authentic activity that brings him into a state of flow, into building. And so he has now become a building entrepreneur. And yeah, sure, you could make the argument that I could align my teaching purpose with his building purpose, and so that I could, study the techniques that he uses to build the buildings and then teach it to the new employees that come into his firm. But let me tell you this. Purpose isn't just a one-time thing. Imagine it as a jawbreaker, for example. You have the beginning layer, and then it goes all the way until you reach the core layer, the core purpose, the bubblegum that is deep inside of it. And that's exactly how purpose works. Right now, your purpose may be aligned to, becoming better at self-improvement. And so, I'm using this teaching skill of mine to master this current purpose of mine. And I'm slowly becoming better at self-improvement. I'm reading books about leadership, about productivity, about testosterone and stuff like this, and then I'm explaining it to you right now. And then I use my superpower, which is this authentic activity, which is teaching for me, to use this knowledge productively. And after couple of years of self-improvement, I will eventually become an expert at this, or probably I will just master this field of becoming a better version of yourself. And so I will peel back this purpose layer, and I don't know what could be next. It could be like parenting and other stuff like that. You just never know. But what matters the most is that when you peel these purpose layers, you get closer and closer to your life's purpose. And this is what you're eventually chasing. This is the desire that you're compensating for when you play video games, when you watch social media. This is the thing that is making you unique in this world. This is the ultimate fulfillment, the ultimate desire, the first ever authentic desire that you've ever created. And are you truly willing to give it up just because your dad said that you need to go to university, because unless you'll be a disappointment, because one time 25 years ago someone looked at him, with disappointment in their eyes when your dad said to them that he wasn't going to university, and so he has now this insecurity that he needs to compensate for, with you going to university. Yeah, but are you willing to give up this authentic journey? Are you willing to give up this infinite fulfillment, this feeling of freedom, for just living in his shadow for the rest of your life? I know that you won't. So yeah, you need to live as if your parents are already dead. And don't take this out of context. I only mean in the wealth desire. So I mean in like your entrepreneurship journey. Of course, don't truly act like there's something really personal between you guys, of course. You get what I'm saying. I know that you're intelligent, so I know that you won't just take that out of context. By the way, if you have no idea what your purpose in life could be, then I suggest that you should do a journaling session where you ask yourself these two powerful questions. First of all, what was something that I used to do when I was younger that everyone was telling me that I would eventually was destined to become it? For example, for me, it was teaching. My mom used to constantly say to me that I was destined to become a teacher, because whenever I learned something, like a fun fact, I would instantly tell it to her. That's how much fulfillment I got from it. That's how much childish joy I got from just learning random facts. Like, for example, Nintendo, like the game development company. They originally started as a card games shop or something like that. And it was these little fun facts about general knowledge that brought me so much joy as a little kid. And then I would transfer that joy, that fulfillment, into teaching it to the people around me. And the second question, if I had financial, location, and time freedom, what would I be doing? How would my day look like? When would I wake up? What type of habits would I be doing? How would my daily routine look like? Would I strive to become the best version of myself? Or would I be just enjoying my wealth until the day that I would die? Once you found out your purpose, this authentic activity that brings you fulfillment and that is separating you from your parents, that will make you feel free in this modern world where everyone seems the same, in this modern world where everyone wants to have the same profession of being an accountant, for example, then all you have to do is to just read books, watch long-form educational videos on YouTube, buy courses, and get one-on-one coaching, if that's possible, from the people who already have the end results that you're looking for. And on what topic should you research? Well, your purpose in life and how to master it faster. If your purpose in life, your authentic activity that puts you into a state of flow, where 3 hours feel like 5 minutes, is basketball, for example, well, the question is obvious. There are already billions of books out there on basketball, and so you already have an advantage. If your purpose in life is to learn musical instruments, which is a very beautiful purpose if you ask me, then just read books about it, watch long-form educational videos. You understand what I'm saying. And lastly, Don't be afraid of making mistakes and going through trials and tribulations. Making mistakes is completely fine. And when the dumbasses of the 99% of people call you out, then just ignore them. Do you know how many hate comments I get? Sometimes on a daily basis, just because I'm doing something that I love? But don't worry, eventually, all of your sufferings will be repaid with delayed gratification, and that will be the most pleasurable feeling that you will ever get, because that will be the sign that you're actually on the right path, and not on the path that your parents had created for you, but on the path that you created for yourself. And that is the first big step into becoming an adult and getting the respect from the people around you. That's how you break the chains of not just your parents, but of the system as well. If you want to join a community full of high-value men who are becoming the best version of themselves every single day, who share the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes, the same goals as you, who will respect your mistakes, and with whom you can grow with on a daily basis, like they are your blood-bonded brothers, and they will also light a fire under your ass, because they will also be a healthy competition for you, then you can join our Discord clan in the description. We will take good care of you, because if you're watching videos like these, then you have way more potential than you think you have. I know that you'll find your place in there, because we like men who are exactly like you. So please, stop being held back by the 99% of people who have no ambitions in life, and join us on the path to greatness. But other than that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description so that you can get an early access to something huge that is coming, and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you